Hi everyone, so today I'll be filming my empties for the month of February. Like always, I have these separated into categories in case you're only interested in certain items. So for this month, the only skincare that I have are my sheet masks, and I do have quite a bit. From I'm From, the first one we have is the I'm From Rice Sheet Mask. These do feel more luxurious than the other Toli Molis that I'll show in a bit. So I would repurchase both of these. I used one mugwort sheet mask. I think mugwort is also known as Artemisia. Mugwort, I think it's better if you have redness in your skin and you want to calm it down, or inflammation and stuff. And then the I'm From Rice sheet mask, I think that's more if you want to add a little bit of a glow. I noticed that it doesn't last long term, but it does feel really nice. And I do have the toner of this product and I would repurchase them. Yeah, so basically these are all good. They're a little bit more expensive. And then the Tony Moly sheet masks, we have, let's see, one of the Pore Care. I like, instead of using the same one each and every time, I kind of like alternating a bit. Maybe not so much this month. So we have the I'm Red Wine, and I think we have 3 of the I'm Seaweed. I found that this one in particular had a lot of the leftover essence, so I do use my reusable cotton pad to wipe down my face. And that one is just okay. I think I like the red wine one a little bit more. Last minute skincare empty, we have some cotton pads. This is from the brand Anua, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I purchased this on Stylovana. I don't know if they are affected with the whole tariff situation because I don't know if they ship from Hong Kong or South Korea. But either way, I don't have to worry about that because I really disliked these cotton pads because they were very thin. They work really well if you're into that whole DIY sheet mask where you use toner or essence and put that on your face, like different size cotton pads. But anyways, for the purpose that I use them for, where I feel like I want to more wipe away excess like cleanser or oil in the morning if I skip my cleansing, washing my face step, it's very thin and I like to soak up the cotton pad. So while it's good at saving your product, I just don't like applying it because it was almost like 2 very thin cotton pads that you could rip up, but it kind of opened up like a book and I just didn't really like it. So yeah, that was my last minute empty for the skincare category. Okay, so going on to body care, and I think I have only one hair care product that I'll include as well. I'm finally finished with this jumbo size philosophy. I think it's like 32 or 34 ounces. Yeah, 32 fluid ounces. This one is the brown butter cookie. It did smell really nice, but after a while, because it was really thick, it became harder to use. So instead of using it as a body wash, and I haven't taken baths in a while, so I feel like that would have made it a little bit easier to use up. I ended up using it as a shampoo and I would use it for my first cleanse. But again, because it was a little bit thicker, I only used a little bit. So a little did go a long way. This one, the scent is pretty good. It was a bit buttery, so you could use it with, let's say, Lush, Let the Good Times Roll, maybe Mary Cookie from Bath and Body Works, or Christmas cookies. And yeah, I think the scent is just okay. I did get this on super sale after the holidays. I believe that the normal price is $19.99 and I got it on sale for $10. So I would repurchase this jumbo size, but I have like 2 or 3 more to go. So going forward, I'll just buy one jumbo Philosophy body wash, shower gel, shampoo at a time. So yeah, here's how it looks like. It might have a little bit of soap scum. So what I tend to do when I'm finished with any product that is shower specific is that I always like rinse. Is that I always rinse it in the shower so then I can easily recycle it and I don't have to worry about there being like a little tiny bit in the corner. So okay, there's that. That was definitely worth $10 for sure. Next body care item, a small business, Lovesick Witchery. I believe that her perfume oils for the roll-on version cost $20 now, so it's a little bit more expensive. On Etsy, we have Sugar Coma. This is her sample sizes. So this one, I don't remember the full entire scent notes, but it does smell very sugary, sweet, and I believe it has like blue raspberry or something. And it has a dot because before she used to formulate her perfume oils, I believe at 5% concentration, and then I think maybe a few months afterwards, she switched it to 10% to make it a little bit stronger. But I find that these don't really last, so I tend to use them more as body oils instead of perfume oils. And they do feel really nice and hydrating, but since they don't last, I wouldn't repurchase it. Okay, I do have another small business here. We have a pretty big. I don't know the size of this, but it's the bigger spray from Dirty Soul Soap Co. This is Marshmallow Clouds. It is a dupe for the Bath and Body Works discontinued, I believe 2019 or 2018, Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. So I believe it has the fragrance notes in the back. It says sweet vanilla, marshmallows, creamy sandalwood, and sweet magnolia blossoms. So one thing from Dirty Soul Soap Co., they use I believe a hydrating formula. So the only problem is that I found that I don't really like the base of whatever fragrance oils are added. So it does have, it's either the glycerin that I don't like or it's the witch hazel. And it does tend to make me sneeze. So from all the scents that I've tried, I feel like I smell this underlying like cinnamon note that kind of throws me off a bit. So I would use this on my clothing instead, and it would last a decent amount of time. Also, another thing to note is that because I think they're more natural ingredients, the color of this was clear when I got it, but then it turned into this brown color. Didn't really look the best, but I think that's normal. And it didn't discolor my clothes or anything. I don't believe that they use any like parabens or phthalates. So I think it was maybe in Chris, this guy shop's video, mentioned that these are good for a year. Obviously, everything has a shelf life. And me personally, I need a little bit more than a year to get through my products. So that's all to say, I would say the dupe was about 70% accurate, but I think I would bump it down to maybe 60% because I don't get that marshmallow fluffy essence that I got in the other one. And again, because of the underlying like base that you mix in the fragrance oil too, I got like the cinnamon note towards maybe when I had like 60% of the product. So while I wouldn't recommend it, I would say to go ahead and try samples. I think that's your best option for this small business. Okay, next we have two Lush products. The one that I finished up was this Celebrate body lotion that came in a gift set, I believe 1 or 2 years ago. It did seem a little bit older, so I think this was well past its expiration date. Let's see, it expired December 3rd, 2024. Yeah, so I just really love Celebrate, aka Bucks Fizz. That was one of the first products from Lush I've ever tried. I would repurchase it. The only thing is that with their citrus scents, they don't really last the longest because citrus notes tends to fade away quicker than most. Unlike, let's say, Let the Good Times Roll, Rose Jam, so on and so forth. Intergalactic, this was a product that my sister finished up. I have one as well that I need to get through, but this was the body scrub. We got it 50% off, if you can tell right there, during the, I want to say Boxing Day sale, but I think they rebranded it to the Freshness sale. And I do like this scent. So this one, oh, I forgot to mention the scent. So this one, it says that it has almond oil and cacao, but it's mainly just this Brazilian orange and zesty lime. So this one reminds me a lot of like a bubbly drink. So I would say Celebrate would be really good for like a New Year's type of a celebration party time. Maybe not so much the winter time, but I would say January, February, or versus Intergalactic, I feel like it's more of a year-round scent. And I think that this one leans a little bit minty. You do get a little mint note in here, but the problem with this one is that the texture was more of like a toothpaste feel, but not toothpaste that just came out of the tube, but toothpaste that has been sitting around getting harder and like a weird texture after a while. So it wasn't pleasant to rub in. It wasn't oily for sure, and it wasn't creamy, smooth. That's all to say, this felt more like the fun products from Lush. It just wasn't the best texture. So I wouldn't recommend it. And I feel like the scent isn't my favorite. And I asked my sister, hey, would you want another one? And she said, nope. So again, we're going to use this for the Bring Back Pop program. Another last minute Bodycare empty. We have a scrub. This is from the brand Asquith and Somerset, if I am saying that correctly. This is in the scent Hazelnut Hot Chocolate. And this is their salt scrub. So I got this at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, TJ Maxx, I guess, for $4.50. And this one, it says Hazelnut Hot Chocolate Salt Scrub. It's definitely very thick, but the problem with this is that it's a death trap because despite the fact that I feel like it's pretty grainy and gritty, it's definitely more exfoliating than a Tree Hut scrub, yet it doesn't feel as like oily as a Tree Hut scrub initially. I mean, looks can be deceiving. It's not creamy like a Dove scrub, and it's more coarse than a Dove scrub. However, once water hits your body after you're done scrubbing, you feel like a grease monkey. It's like you just poured a bunch of baby oil on you, and I'm just like, oh no. I initially was slipping and sliding in the shower. So in order to finish this up, and can you believe I have another one? Anyways, so I essentially have to use this as soon as I get in the shower. And then essentially the remainder of my shower, I'm just using shower gels and soaps to like get rid of the product. And I don't know what type of oils are used in here, but it's definitely very oily and it doesn't feel oily when you initially rub it into your skin. That's all to say that my dad actually, he one time I told him like, hey, the shower floor is very slippery and we have more of like pebbles or like basically it's rough, it's not tile or anything. And he said he almost like fell in the shower. So each time I shower and I use this, which I'm using it every single time because I want to finish it up, I have to say, hey, watch out, you know, everybody, like PSA, I'm using that scrub, that's very dangerous. So I'm gonna hurry up and finish up the second one. I definitely would not recommend. The reason why I got two mini story time is because I really liked hot chocolate or chocolate scents in Bodycare. I still like it in home fragrance, but not as much in Bodycare anymore. And all of a sudden, I smell the hazelnut or like that nutty scent in this hot chocolate, which I don't really care for anymore. That's all to say, like, don't buy the scrub. It smells great though. I'd probably recommend it if you really like the fragrance to use it as like a foot scrub when you use like not in the shower so you're not falling. Another empty from a small business called Bloom and Barrel. I finished up one of the perfume sample sprays. I forgot how many milliliters this is, but I have a dedicated video going more into detail. Anyways, all the Lush, well, a majority of the Lush dupes I've tried from this company I really enjoyed. And I actually full size like the 2543 one, and I did want a full size the 29 High Street one, but that's besides the point. Sultana of Soap is a pretty good dupe of the soap. If I'm not mistaken, I believe one of the community releases had the perfume. However, when I went in the store to smell it, I felt like it was a little bit too powdery. This one, I think it's a good balance, and I think when I used it on my clothing, it lasted a pretty decent amount of time. That being said, I think it didn't project much. However, it lasted on my clothing a full entire day. That's to say, my scent bubble was pretty, maybe like you had to be like 5 feet away from me in order to smell me. But then again, I did use kind of like a lot of this spray. I used maybe about that much in one go. And it's very similar if you've tried the same dupe, so Sultana of Soap dupe from Land of Oz. So I have it right here. I actually paired these together and that's how I finished it off. So their Sultana of Soap dupe is called Apricot Currant. So I really like that the Bloom and Barrel one, the one that I finished, has a heavy emphasis on that fruit clean note. And I feel like it's not as powdery as I smelled the perfume when it was released within the last few months. That's to say that I would recommend, but I think this perfume isn't a beast. I think you'd have to spray quite a bit in order to make the scent project. Here is the next product. I did cut it to get all of it out, and I believe that you are able to bring this back to Sephora, if I'm not mistaken, for the recycling program. So this is the Moroccan Oil Intense Hydrating Mask, but I used it like a deep conditioner, and I really like it. The only problem is that it's kind of expensive, so I'm going to tell my sister if maybe during the 21 days of Ulta or just like those random sales, if it's included, then I'll go ahead and buy it. But if not, I'm sure my other drugstore conditioners are fine as well. And I like it that it's thick. It wasn't runny or anything. And it did smell nice. Initially, I didn't care for the scent, but I feel like now I've gone accustomed to it. And I do like the Moroccan Oil hair care product smell that's going on here. Turns out I finished up another hair care product. This is the Garnier Fructis Grow Strong with Biotin C thickening conditioner. So this one I got it at Target. I don't know if you can tell. The price really rubbed off. So I believe it was under $4 for sure, but it was either $2.30 or $3.30, but definitely not $4.30 plus. So anyways, I later found out that I really dislike the smell of this because right here it says that it has blood orange extract, but that's basically all I smell. Normally, I like the scent of Garnier Fructis products, especially their like hair damage line, but this one, it just wasn't for me. I felt like the conditioner was okay, but it was a bit too runny. It wasn't thick enough. Essentially, I have normal, frizzy, kind of wavy hair, and while it did an okay job at hydrating, I wouldn't use it in place of like a hair mask, a thick conditioner. I felt like I had to use a lot, but I'm the person in the shower that likes to detangle their hair. So because this was really runny, I feel like it helped me versus a thicker conditioner. I think it might be a little bit hard and you have to like harder to run your fingers or your brush or comb through your hair with a thicker conditioner. So yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this. I don't like the smell, but I would purchase products from Garnier Fructis, just not this one. I believe they have a TerraCycle program that my sister is a part of. I don't know if it's still currently open or not, but I'm going to give this to her to ship it back because I think she's holding on to a few products from Garnier Fructis. Okay, next from a small business that I tried on Etsy when I had a coupon, we have the Herbal Scent. These are all shower steamers. So I did write little notes just because I finished a lot and I tend to forget once I use up a product. So the first one, we have Tropical Refresh, fragrance notes, tangerine, lemon, and orange. So this one lasted about 10 minutes. So it wasn't the most long lasting from this brand, but it's still better than Bath and Body Works that lasts hardly any time. And I do tend to turn off the shower in between my steps. So if you're a person that just like leaves the shower going, I'm sure it'll finish up a lot sooner. And also caveat, we used, and by we I mean me and my sister, used a shower saver or a soap saver with the shower steamers. So that helps as well. So I would say that the strength of this was more of like a light medium. So the only problem with this one is that it finished up pretty quickly, but you do get this very nice citrus medley of fragrances. So would repurchase that one. The next shower steamer is Sleepy Time, and that one, the fragrance notes are just lavender and chamomile. So I did get more of an herbal type lavender, but surprisingly, normally lavender fragrances are pretty strong, but this was more on the light side, and it didn't finish as quickly as Tropical Refresh. So my sister and I both wouldn't repurchase this one, not one of the favorites. Next, we have Head Hug. This one, fragrance notes peppermint, basil, rosemary, and I wrote that it smelled mainly peppermint, and then I got an even mixture of the basil and the rosemary. So we did like this one. It was about a medium strength, and we would repurchase it. But for some reason, I thought it was going to be very, very strong. So far, the strongest one out of the herbals and shower steamers that we've tried was Cold Kicker. That one, I would agree with the name that that's accurate because that one's really in your face type of a scent. All right, next one, we have Morning Energy. The fragrance notes to this are peppermint, lemon, and rosemary. I'm not sure why I put a question mark by the rosemary because I did smell it, but I think the peppermint and the lemon were the predominant notes. And what did I write? Bam, Awake, Breath Strips, Listerine. So I think that just meant that the peppermint note was very cooling, very much an awake type of a scent. So I think it's a good name, Morning Energy. It really livens you up. And we use this at night because my sister and I tend to take showers at night. And I feel like after I was done with the shower, I felt like I wanted to like work on something or like go on the computer instead of sleeping. So this one, we would repurchase it and it was medium strong. I think out of all the ones that I've read so far, I think this one was my favorite over the Tropical Refresh. And then last one, this is the free sample, and I ended up using this one, Head Hug, Peppermint, Basil, Rosemary, like I mentioned before. And this one was a little bit smaller than what comes in this packet. And this one was a light medium, and it lasted about 10 minutes, which I want to say that that's kind of the same notes that I wrote on the other one. But anyways, here is this. And I would have purchased from the Herbal Scent. Again, I think the ones that I would have repurchased if I had to only pick two would be Cold Kicker and what was it? Morning Energy? Yes, Morning Energy. All right, so that is it for body care and the one hair care product I use. Well, technically it's kind of two if you count the Philosophy one since I used it as a shampoo. But let's go on to home fragrance, and this is where the majority of my empties are. So this month I used my tea light wax warmers a lot more than I did during January. So I do have some tea lights going. And then here are all the ones that I finished. Quite a lot. I don't really want to count, but it's a mixture of 4-hour tea lights, 6-hour, and I believe 8-hour ones. And the tea lights, I got them either on Target or Amazon, and they're all pretty decent. I do have some that like the wick is very much to one side, but it ends up working out somehow. So speaking of wax, I did finish up some wax melts. First one, we have one that I won in a giveaway from Emily the Candle Nurse. We have this in Starburst Sky. I believe this is one of her favorite fragrances. A borderline might be in her club, but I'm not too sure. So anyways, I did write the fragrance notes. We have sweet apple, whipped vanilla, creamy coconut, and amber blossom. So I don't really like coconut, and I'm not sure exactly what's the note in here that I don't like, but When I smelled it, it immediately made me think Ariana Grande Cloud, Baccarat Rouge 540, Bath and Body Works in the Stars, and like their other Baccarat Rouge 540 inspired fragrances. So I think this scent reminded me a little bit too much of that. So when I had it in my room, and that's where I have the Scentsy warmer, 25 watt, I just didn't really like it. So I didn't want to move the Scentsy warmer anywhere else because it's a little bit hard to plug into the outlet. So I ended up using this in a tea light in my bathroom. And my mom, I think she likes more perfumey fragrances, so she didn't mind this one. And it lasted me a little bit less versus in the Scentsy warmer, it was maybe about like 2-3 days plus. In my tea light warmer, it was maybe like 8-10 hours, something like that. So I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase this, and I think it's just not my scent family, but it does smell like a complex perfumey fragrance. Doesn't really smell fruity to me at all. And I'm curious what I don't like about this. I'm pretty sure it has to be something besides the coconut, but I'm not sure. Anyways, wouldn't repurchase that. Then we have a small business, Boots and Mascara, or Angela. She has a YouTube channel called Boots and Mascara here on YouTube. So I did finish up 2 of her bags she sells on Etsy currently, I think. So first one, we have Fluffy Mint Swirl from the Winter Collection. Fragrance notes, peppermint, oh no, sweet peppermint, fluffy marshmallow cream, and rich vanilla cupcake. So I know that this says like mainly just peppermint and vanilla, but for some reason I smell chocolate in here now. And it reminds me of like what's that candy called? The one with mint and chocolate. New York peppermint patty? I don't know because I don't like peppermint in my candy or anything. So yeah, this reminded me of it. I initially had this in the living room, and then each time I had it on in the living room, my dad goes like, "What the heck is in here? I don't like it." And he always says that about chocolate fragrances. And when he pointed it out, now I can't get that out of my mind. So I had this going on in my room, mainly during the month of like late January and early February. So while I wouldn't repurchase this one did last a pretty long time. I had it in my tea light warmer, and I think it lasted more than 8 hours. So I think I would use the 8-hour tea light, and then I would finish it off with the 4-hour tea light. Last wax from Angela, we have Lemon Drop Cookie. Pour date September 8th, 2024. Fragrance notes, lemon, sugar cookie, and vanilla. So unfortunately for this one, it was a dud for me because it was pretty light, and I'm not sure exactly why, because when I smell the bag, I am able to get this like somewhat faint lemon cookie scent. But when I had this warming in my tea light in my medium-sized bedroom, I tried it also in my smaller bathroom. I couldn't really get anything besides just the wax base, I think. So I had to have a candle going at the same time. So I was burning Limoncello Cupcake from Homeworks and or the Bath and Body Works Ice Lemon Pound Cake candle. So unfortunately, I wouldn't purchase this despite the fact that I really love Citrus Gourmands. Oh, and the reason why I wouldn't purchase Fluffy Mint Swirl is that this one performs extremely well in my warmer, but it smells too much like a New York peppermint patty, which is great if you like that, but I personally don't really like it. Okay, so that is it for wax melts, I believe. Yes. Okay, so let's go on to some other miscellaneous products before I move back to candles. Okay, I'm a liar. I found one more piece of wax. It is this mystery scent sample from L3 Waxy Wonders. Since it's a mystery, I'm not exactly sure what the scent is. I think when I initially smelled it, I thought maybe bananas, but now I pick up pear. So who knows? I had this going in my tea light wax warmer, and it lasted a pretty decent amount of time. I think I either used my 6-7 hour tea lights or my 8 hours, and I could smell it throughout the duration, and it was just a little piece of wax. I want to say it was like 0.6 ounces, 0.7 ounces. So whatever this is, I would repurchase it, but I don't think I can. So there's that. Okay, going on to something different, we have an essential oil. I got this at Target, or my sister did actually, several years ago. I don't know if they still have the scent, but this is from Nature's Truth, the calming scent. So it does say what it's mixed with. This one's a blend of orange oil, tangerine oil, ylang ylang oil, patchouli oil, and chamomile. So how I ended up finishing this off, instead of using it in a diffuser with water and whatnot, for those shower steamers that I purchased that are duds from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, I would put like several drops of this essential oil on the shower steamer, and I feel like once the water would hit it, it would release some fragrance versus zero fragrance. So I would repurchase this. I don't know exactly how much it costs, but I'm assuming it's like $13 or something. So maybe we'll see if there's a sale going on for essential oils. But yeah, I was able to smell it, and I think that's a good compromise when you don't want to make your own shower steamers from scratch. But if you don't want to use unscented ones that you thought were scented when you purchased them. Next, moving on to reed diffusers. This one is from the brand Antigua 1860, and it is from Marshalls and TJ Maxx. And frankly, I think this is the best one that I've tried. The scent is lavender and verbena, and this one was really, really strong. I had this going in my grandma's old bedroom, and I don't know if it was the placement of it or what, but I could always smell it, and I mainly got the verbena. So maybe I need to find either this brand or reed diffusers with the note verbena. Who knows, but highly would recommend this. 10 out of 10, I would repurchase. And despite the fact that it has the reeds I don't like, I don't know, something about this, whether it's the oils used or the reeds, I don't know, but this works well. Going on to the other reed diffuser that I finished, this one is Chenille 96. I don't know if that's potentially the brand name, but I got this at Marshalls or in TJ Maxx. Oh, I lied, Marshalls. It was on yellow tag clearance for $4, and this one you could barely pick up anything. I think I saved the reed little info card. So this one, it says a tender, oh gosh, it's a story. A tender caress of soft chenille gathered with fresh cherry blossom sweetness and notes of vanilla wrapped woods. Okay, the problem is that you don't smell anything unless you're smelling the oil in here. And also another thing is that the reeds got a little bit discolored. I don't know if you can like kind of tell, but they look a little yellow. So not my favorite. It does smell very pretty and soft, but it's just like non-existent. So yeah, I wouldn't purchase this, even though I think this quantity, I think it's more than 100 milliliters. How much is it? 250 milliliters. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. So unfortunately, I wouldn't repurchase that. I ended up finishing another reed diffuser. Well, technically my sister did because I didn't care for the scent. This one was a little bit too, I don't know, there was a scent that was a little bit too earthy or green in here. This is from the brand Homeworks by Slacken & Co. This was, I believe, on sale. This is one of their winter scents. Let me see. I kind of forgot about it because I didn't really care for it. Holiday Wishes, Sparkling Mandarin, Fir Needles, Spice Clove, Frosted Moss. So I have a feeling that it's the frosted moss that I don't care for. Yeah, there's something kind of like sticky about this. I think it's maybe like the mandarin. It smells a little candied, and it's not really mixing well with the earthiness of the moss, and it's a little bit green and not like a bright green sense, more of a dirt type of a smell. Yeah, this one did a pretty okay job at scenting up like a tiny corner of the room. However, it wasn't the best, and I feel like I've had other Slacken & Co. reed diffusers that I prefer much more. So maybe I would purchase this if it was on like super discount, maybe $5, but I definitely wouldn't pay full price, and I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase this particular scent. So yeah, there's that empty. Okay, I think I'm finally moving on to candles. Ooh, okay. First one, we have one from Goodies by DW. I did a dedicated review of this, and I got this during the after Christmas sale. So this one, it says fresh herbs and crystal ozone wrapped in aromatic spearmint, fir needles, cozy amber, blonde woods, and smooth vanilla. This one, I tried it out because it was 5 wicks. The only thing is that if I didn't have it in my Hurricane, this part wouldn't really melt, and that's because of the wick placement. It did get a little bit, I guess, discolored, the wax, but that didn't affect the strength and throw, and there was hardly, if any, sooting. Surprisingly, this one, it was normally $12.99, but I got it on sale for $6.50. It reminded me a lot of like an outdoors tree scent that you would get from Homeworks, and I would repurchase it. So I think with DW, I just need to find the ones that have more, maybe more than 3 wicks, maybe 5 wicks. So we'll see how it goes. I would repurchase this if I were to see it again, but I would want to try out different fragrances. Next empty, we have this Lush Lord of Misrule 4-wick candle. 50% off. I got it during the Boxing Day sale, Freshness Day, whatever you want to call it. A Homeworks lid does fit, so that was handy because this has the world's worst sticker lid that I just hate. So here's how it looks like. It looked very electric green, especially when you lit up the flame. It does have some cling on, so that's the only bad part. And I don't know if these candles were reformulated or not, because when they first came out, it would say like good after 14 months of since it was produced or manufactured. But now it doesn't say like who made it, what year or anything. At least I can't tell. So the approximate burn time of this is 35 hours. And I believe that on the website, it said that they don't use soy wax and they don't use palm wax. So I believe it was more of like of a coconut based candle wax. So the good thing about it is that I think it's pretty true to the Lord of Misrule scent family. The bad thing is that my sister doesn't like Lord of Misrule or the scent of it. Strength and Throw was pretty good, and I had this burning in my medium-sized bedroom. Unfortunately, I wouldn't repurchase it just because I prefer the Lush Snow Fairy scent a little bit more. So that is why, but it did perform well. First one that she finished up was from the brand Candlebiz. These are CBD, I guess, infused candles. This one was in the scent Amber Plum, and she got it for $8 on sale. They normally retail $9.99. The lid's pretty cheap, and here is how it looks like. She did borrow my small Hurricane for this, and to her personally, she finds that these do work in calming her down. I don't know if that's a placebo effect or not, because I believe it only has 80 micrograms of CBD, and these are hand poured in the USA. And the brand does partner with TJX stores. So I think I will do a review on this because I do have slightly different thoughts than her. But yeah, she basically purchased like 5 or 6 of these when they were on sale. This particular scent isn't her favorite. I believe the favorite one that she's tried is Merry Mistletoe. So this is good if you want the effects, and I guess if you're a believer, but the scent payoff isn't really there. Again, she would repurchase that. Next candle that my sister finished up, she used the Hallmark's Berry Trifle scented candle in her crock. This one's the 3-wick format. I don't know if they still make this particular style, but this one was really popular in Ulta for a while, or at least Ulta had a bunch of these. So the, I guess, pour date, December 8th, 2022. Fragrance notes, raspberries, wild blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, vanilla pound cake, and Grand Marinier sauce. So this one has a super heavy emphasis on just this like fluffy white pound cake, almost like whipped cream. I really, really like it. When I burned it, it was really weak. So I told my sister to put this in her crock. The only problem is that it's really tall. So it would take hours on end for this to melt and give off scent. So I think if you're the type of person that has their Crocs on 24/7, that shouldn't be an issue for you. But for my sister who doesn't, it takes basically like 3 hours for this candle to melt and for you to start like smelling the scent. So this might work a little bit better if you have a top-down candle lamp warmer. The scent is a 10 out of 10 would repurchase, but the performance is like a 5 out of 10. All right, next candle that my sister finished up. She got this when she shopped my homework stash, Orange Creamsicle. I got this on sale for $10 back when these retailed $16.99. The fragrance notes are sweet orange, vanilla cream, mandarin, fruit nectar, pour date December 8th, 2022. So my sister has this weird burning style that she just leaves this burning for hours on end, so it did get a little bit discolored, but it gave her no issues. And the strength of this, I don't know if it improved because I haven't burned this in like over a year. But for her smaller room than me, I would say hers is more of a small bedroom. Mine's more of a medium bedroom. But in her room, I would give this about, let's say 8 out of 10. And I would say with travel would be, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because I could smell it when I was in the bathroom. In order to get to her room, you need to pass that bathroom, laundry room, and then it's her room. So yeah, this one was really good. I would repurchase it. The only thing is that this mainly smells like Fanta to me, like orange Fanta. There's not a lot of creamy emphasis. I can pick up on the orange fizz. So that's the only thing. If you want a predominant creamsicle type scent, this one really isn't it. It's more citrus soda centered. Oh, but she said that she would have purchased that one. Another candle that she ended up burning was Limoncello Cupcake. Again, she got this from my stash, and I actually purchased these when they were $3 on an Ulta glitch. So I got 10 online and then I purchased 3 in store. So this is how it looked like. It did get a little bit murky, and sadly, for some reason, the performance on Limoncello Cupcake was still pretty weak, except for the last like 2 burns. For some reason, it like came to life. But for the majority of the burn, I would give the Strength and Throw in her room maybe about a 5 to a 6 out of 10. So it was a lighter fragrance, but still detectable. She didn't want to warm it because definitely under my candle lamp, it's a lot stronger. Projection wasn't really there. I think it did fill up her small bedroom, but it didn't really travel like the orange creamsicle one did. Anyways, fragrance notes: limoncello, Sicilian lemons, candy lemons, sparkling sugar, creamy vanilla, French butter. This one's good if you like a heavier emphasis on like a sugared lemon note instead of the cupcake, vanilla cake carb aspect of it. Pour date is June 1st, I believe, 2024. If you can see how it's the pour date is reflected did change. So this one, I don't believe I would repurchase it. I think she said that she wouldn't repurchase it either. So going forward, I think I'm going to mainly put these under my candle lamp because I feel like instead of getting like a 6 out of 10, I get like an 8 out of 10. And I use a 50-watt Hestia candle lamp warmer, but I don't think that those are sold in Amazon anymore. Anyways, yeah, wouldn't repurchase this, but for $3, it's hard to say no. Okay, finally, to talk about the candles that I finished up this month, I did also burn a limoncello cupcake. I put mine just to distinguish it from my sister's. Same fragrance notes and same pour date. A little bit different because I kind of let it go a little bit too long the last burn. If you can see, no real sitting issues or like soot on the sides like I've had for some Homeworks candles. This one, again, it was a bit light in my bedroom. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Again, it's much stronger under my candle lamp. And the reason why I burned this is to compare it to a Caramel Sundays candle that I was finishing off. And that's actually my next one. But for Homeworks' limoncello cupcake, I would not repurchase it unless it's $3. But it is a very pretty scent. And I don't think I would purchase it just to put it under my lamp, to be honest. To on to a small business, we have Caramel Sundays Lemon Pound Cake. I did a dedicated review, and that's the main reason why I wanted to burn Homeworks' Limoncello Cupcake. This one is a lot more of an emphasis on that pound cake, on the butter note. Barely get any of the citrus. And unfortunately, this one just didn't perform for me. It was a 3-wick, and you can see it did get very murky. And let me see. Yeah, so I'm smelling it right now, and all I'm getting is Soot City, which is quite unfortunate because these are pretty pricey. I believe the retail price is $31.99. However, this seems to potentially be a fluke. But anyways, if you want to check out my dedicated review, I have more thoughts over there, but I would not repurchase a lemon pound cake, and I didn't during the February drop. Sticking with small businesses, we have 2 single wick 100% soy candles from Above Love Candle Co. These are their 6-ounce style options. So the left one, we have Candy Apple Craze. I don't have that scent card with me, but I remember it had like roasted toasted peanuts and like green apple. Unfortunately, I did not pick up on any like nutty nuances. And then the right one, we have the We Love You, We Miss You, Dia de los Muertos, Strawberry Horchata. And I believe that one had, I want to say almond milk and strawberries. So it didn't smell like an authentic horchata to me, or strawberry horchata. I feel like that's not commonly sold, at least in the places that I go to. But it kind of reminded me of like, I guess like foods from other cultures that you would find like at Trader Joe's or at Whole Foods. So it's not realistic, but it's like a spin on it, or like a more expensive interpretation of it, if I'm making any sense. So the problem with these two is that I could not smell them like at all. I would say they were more of like a 1 or a 2 out of 10 in my medium-sized bedroom. And so I ended up moving them into my small bathroom, and I also couldn't smell them there, unfortunately. And I wasn't about to put a hurricane in the bathroom. So maybe they would have performed in a hurricane, but I think you're better off getting a larger format, or maybe putting this in your candle crock or candle lamp. Also, the wicks for these are kind of the ones that curve a little bit. So after like 2 hours, I would clip off the curved part and relight them immediately. So I had them going for a while and no real soot or discoloration at all. Also, mine didn't have any glitter, so I didn't have to worry about that clogging the wick or anything. Next, we have one that I reviewed from Mrs. Meyer's. I got this at Big Lots before they decided to just crush my heart and close down all Big Lots locations. So this is the orange clove scented candle. Again, not really for me. I ended up gifting my backup to my mom, but I did like how this performed. And this one didn't soot at all. I could smell it a little bit in terms of like the size of it. So I would say in my medium-sized bedroom, it was maybe about like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. I'm kind of blanking right here. But I would try out other fragrances in this larger soy formula. They don't necessarily say it's 100% soy, but I have a feeling it's not 100% soy because I could smell it. All right, that is it for candles. Moving on to the miscellaneous section. I did finish up this spray, or my family finished up this spray Poopery in the Heaven scent, fragrance notes, white jasmine, violet, and citrus. So initially, I thought I could only smell citrus from this, but later on, since I purchased a new one in a larger size called Sugared Lemon Zest, I feel like the citrus notes, especially the violet, really helps make this a bit stronger because the other one is a little bit lighter than this. So I got this on sale. Unfortunately, I haven't found this scent, but if I do, I would repurchase it. I believe I got it on sale, red tag for $4.50. The only problem is that when you purchase Poopery on sale at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, wherever, it tends to be like half gone because people want to spray this like it's room spray and not purchase. So anyways, really like this. They do have Poopery at Costco sometimes occasionally, but it tends to be seasonal scents and you have to really like them. And then maybe like a few months ago, they had it at Costco, but they had like a vanilla sandalwood, and I'm just not spraying that in a toilet because that's kind of weird. But I would recommend this fragrance and the brand overall. First gummy that I finished up, this is Nature's Truth Biotin Peach Flavored. You take 2 gummies. I got this on sale for $5. Would repurchase it, however, I haven't seen it, and I missed my opportunity when there was a good sale going on around December. But yeah, really recommend this one. Last gummy, I would not recommend these at all. This is from the brand Nature's Bounty. These are the high potency zinc gummies, berry flavored, I believe, and I think you take 2. Anyways, these taste horrible, and I didn't notice it until because I would take these before I would eat my food, so I wouldn't notice it. But then I thought, oh no, I think you're supposed to have these after you finish your like dinner or lunch or whatever. And then I would have the worst aftertaste in my mouth. It reminded me of like when you're a child and you take medicine, like the liquid form, since they don't have it in pill form, and you're just left with this like bad taste on the top of your tongue and you just cannot get it out. So what I ended up doing is towards the end, I just ended up swallowing these. I didn't buy them, but my parents did, I believe. So I finished them, and they're not repurchasing them, and I wouldn't repurchase them. Heck, I don't even think I need zinc. But anyways, horrible. So yeah, those were all my empties for the month of February. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.